Hey man, you know what it is, man. It's that You Heard podcast back at it again. It's your boy Ben. That's my big brother Joe. What's popping, fam?
Another day, man. Another dollar. Sunday's over with already. It's time to go back to work.
Yeah, man. When you listen to this, it is back to work for y'all. This is what we do. All right, let's get into this intro, man. Let's talk about it.
Welcome to the You Heard podcast with your hosts Ben and Joe. We cover all things Miami Hurricanes football, from hot topics to pre and post game analysis.
All right, we'll talk about it at the end. We'll talk about it at the end.
No, let's talk about that right now because you completely flipped it on me now. Yeah, I don't appreciate that. I'm saying like,
what are we talking about, man? Keeping it a buck.
You heard.
Hey man, what's poppin', Joe? What's good, man?
Oh, Sunday, man. You know, when it gets to this time, that's when I know real life is about to take place tomorrow. You know what I mean? I haven't won Powerball or Mega Millions or nothing, so we back out.
This,
man. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
man. This is like the last. This is like the remnants of the weekend. We're like, it's still relaxed time. You know what I mean? Because this is, I'm saying, this is what we do. But this is what we love to do. So this is our time to be like. Then right after this, like, fuck, gotta set the alarm. Gotta make. You know what I'm saying?
Man. It's time to get ready.
Yeah, man. Talk about the time to get ready. Let's just hop right into this, man. This conversation is why I'm glad we don't do like why we don't do emergency shows, because the conversation on Friday when all this shit kicked off would have been totally different than it is today, right? Because it would have been, I'm saying, like, it would have been charged up, high emotion. It would have been like, nah, get his bag. But I'm like, yo, but the timing of it. Now that you've had some time to sit with it, right, and think about it, and process all of it. I know we talked, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But what are your thoughts about the TVD, Tyler Van Dyke, NIL, the whole thing? Because this really could be the whole episode. Because this is a big topic. Because it's new for all of us. So what'd you think?
Yeah, man. You know, knowing being in college football, knowing the landscape now, NIL is here. You know what I mean? We know that. We should know as a fan base, as media people, to take things with a grain of salt, man. You know what I mean? Like, stuff is going to get out. People are going to try to get that money.
Facts.
TVD is trying to set himself up for the future, man, like everybody does. What's the difference between him maybe entertaining what would be perceived as a better opportunity? Because let's keep it a buck. We keeping it a buck. If he go to Bama, you know, he's instantly in line to receive a ring or possibly play for a chip before he goes to the league. You know what I mean? He can be set up just because he's at Bama to go to the league. You know what I mean? So what's the difference between him doing that and a coach leaving for a better opportunity? You know what I mean?
Nothing really. Yeah.
What's the difference? You know, and to say, you know, we hear that the players, the locker room is going to be destroyed because of this. Players is not going to rock. So we're saying that players are now not going to play for him. So players are going to now put the whole team at jeopardy. They're not going to play. They're going to mess up their career by dropping ball. What are they going to not run routes hard? They're going to drop balls now. O-line not going to block. So you're going to put your career in jeopardy because you tight at a player who entertained an opportunity at Alabama. Come on, man. Come on, man. I don't buy it.
I think so. I think what happened, right? And what happened with me, because I can't speak for nobody else's process and how they process shit. That's you know, people get mad, people get in their feelings, yada yada. I think what happened to me was like the timing of it, right? Because to me, it's like the not knowing of when NIL can pop, right? Like, like, you know, you have like in the NFL and NBA, everything, and all these pro games, you have a free agency period. So you know, from this day to this day, you could jump in. Which not I'm thinking like as I'm saying, and I was like, oh, that's what the portal
NIL
is.
has a period too. Yeah.
NIL has a period too.
I mean,
that's what the
transfer portal has a period too. Yes.
Yeah. Which is the NIL time, which is when you could jump in the portal, not necessarily leaving. Like we had Brian Ballum this past portal, the one in December, jump in and jump out. People jump in and bounce. That's fine.
Yeah.
But what they can negotiate when they're in the portal, right? Or say that they're going to go in the portal and not the player negotiating. Like TVD ain't talking numbers with nobody, man. I mean, that's his agent, the agent of agents.
And that's another thing, right? Who put that out? It could have been a strategy, to get more paper, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Wherever it came from. I think the first report was like King Sport that dropped like the night before, and then it hit the whole thing. Like agents use media, like you know what I'm saying? Like when you have sources, right? Those sources might be agents, might be staff members, might be coaches. Whoever says that has a vested interest in what they're giving you, right? So the fan base went crazy. We saw it. Yo, fuck them, let them leave. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it all the way a buck. Let them leave. We don't need them. And I was like, I was never that. I was thinking like, oh shit, this is gonna hurt. Like if you're looking at numbers, right? Like because TVD goes, you have to play an unproven freshman or a JB11 that's spring game was what it was last. You know what I'm saying? Your last thing you saw was what you know of them, and you're like, okay, then you start thinking, all right, if a starting quarterback just bounced from this program, and I started thinking of it like as a recruit, right? A starting quarterback just bounced from this program. Is that something I really want? You know what I'm saying? Is that something I really want? Or the flip side of it, the starting quarterback bounce when I get there is going to be an open competition, and I can start as a true freshman. But the downside of that is you're going to have two unproven quarterbacks for the most part, trying to put in a brand new offense. How is that offense going to look? The recruits might, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was thinking about it that way because if TVD leaves, get his bag, I can't. That's never going to be a position.
I'm not tight.
Yeah, I'm never going to be like, no, take less money and change your life now because you never know what the future holds. That'd be a stupid and selfish position. Like I don't want nobody trying to get a tap in my pockets. Right. So when he's coming at it like that, I was like, all right, I get it, man. And this Bama, even though that roster is way more talented, that quarterback room is way more talented and deeper, but they're just young because I guess the guy transferred out when he shouldn't have and messed up their numbers. That's you know what I'm saying, that's a saving situation. So the NIL thing, like I hadn't thought of it where like that's the free agency period because it was right after the spring games and right after the season. Oh, that makes sense. But I think we're like who it was, right? Linebackers leave, all right. Defensive ends leave. This is the most important position, right? Like that's where you're like, holy shit! If he leaves, what happens to us? Like that's another bad season. We can't take another bad season. We've just had 22 of them in a row. So,
but I would like to think there was a plan in place in the building. You know what I mean? I would like to think coaches, the head dogs had a plan, a contingency plan. Because I'm sure they knew the conversations that were happening. So I would like to think there was a plan to possibly bring in an experienced transfer portal quarterback. I would think so.
Yeah, no. We're purely speaking on for you guys listening, and I was talking like our reaction. Like what the Highsmiths and the crystal balls and the mirror balls and the whole on-field staff, analysts, that's a whole different conversation. Like they have to know at any given moment anybody can jump in the portal because that's their right now. Anybody can go. So you have to, every year you have to re-recruit, recommit, re-enlist, re-NIL, all that shit for every single one of these players. So that whole thing like, oh, he should be happy to be a Hurricane. Fam, that's not real life anymore. Or he should be happy to be fill in the blank team. That's not real life anymore. That's not the world we live in.
I think the people in our age group expect, and I say ours because you're not that younger than me, son. I don't want to hear nothing crazy. You know what I mean?
We the same age bracket. We in the same like we in the same age bracket. Like if they put a range, we're in that. We're in the dash. You know what I mean? We're in
so I didn't want to hear nothing snappy coming out your mouth.
So I love that everybody listens. Like everybody thinks you're like 67 years old and shit. Like like he's somebody's great grandfather. Like, yo, you know how you always mess with Joe about being old. Like maybe 3 years older than me. But the way I tell the story, you're like 37 years older than me. Go ahead.
Yeah, so people in up there where we at, loyalty is very important, right? So the loyalty word gets kicked around. He's doing this, he's not loyal. People think about, I don't think that's the priority of these younger cats, man. They trying to win and they trying to get that bag. The bag is probably the most important thing going right now. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So while there may be some in the building that are like,
tight.
He could leave a little bit tight. I don't even think fully tight. A little bit tight. I'm sure they understand the bag. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm sure they understand it. I get more concerned about people watching the amount of the bag, pocket watching.
Yeah.
That's his bag like this, and my bag ain't like this. Like, if we talking bags, there should be one person on that team who getting the most bag, and his name is Rafters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
His name is in the Rafters. But that's how they handle business. You know what I mean? That's none of our business. That's how they handle business. So, you know what I mean?
It's
glad TVD is back though for me.
Yeah, no, 100%. I'm glad TVD is back, and also like I said it before, and I'll say it again, man. Like this is a Miami Hurricanes podcast. You know what I'm saying? This isn't a player specific. Yeah, this is not an individual podcast in any way. Also, specific was a very tricky word, so thank you for saving me in that space.
Please.
Salute to you, my brother.
Don't talk about the ocean, the Pacific. It's not the Pacific.
It's not the Pacific. But yeah, man, like those days are over, man. Like it's just you're gonna win. You're gonna have transfer. Like look at the roster from the end of the year to what it is now.
Yeah,
people weren't mad when we were talking about come get your kids season.
No,
you know what I'm saying? Like people weren't mad at that or come pick up your kids. People weren't mad at that. So you can't be mad about this because like this guy goes, I could go over here get a little bit more money because I think Alabama is one of those states that like the school controls the NIL. I know that's what we're coming to now, which is I want to talk to somebody who like can break it down, but like it's so all over the place because each state is so different. Like Arkansas is one of those where like the school can give you the money, which I think is honestly the best way because it should be based, you know what I'm saying? Like they know who the staff knows who's most valued, whatever. But this, you know what I'm saying? It's the players' right to do what they want. They have those, and they might mess around and do a third transfer portal after fall practice. You know what I mean? Like you never know what's gonna happen. So those transfer portals, just be ready for some wild shit. Like look at the players leaving from top programs.
Yeah,
we love this university, but this isn't a top program. This is a 5-7 team.
Yeah,
let's keep it all the way. You know what I'm saying? Like there's players even from Georgia, from Alabama, from this school, that school. That everybody's jumping in trying to get the bag. But yeah, I mean, it was a roller coaster because start the day like the news dropped that night, like Thursday night. Friday was a wildfire on Twitter. Because you know what I'm saying, and then people chiming in with the NIL stuff, us finding out that basically that day hearing whispers at the beginning of the week that John Ruiz isn't the only guy with NIL. What bothered me was like once you get past the fans and all that shit, like because fans are gonna be emotional, yada yada. Was the reporters like, and I'll name names. I don't give like the Barry Jacksons. I mean, everybody coming out like, oh, you didn't know we've known this for the last 12 to 18 months. That's my reporter voice. We didn't know. We knew for the last 12 to 18 months that there was somebody other than John Ruiz doing it. And Miami's NIL structure is fine. It's like, you think if we would have known that, like we know things that you know what I'm saying that other people don't or whatever. We hear conversations, yada yada. But those are whispers. Like to me, there's that part of it where like the people we know have already said it. But the ones saying it now, you've never whispered these words. You never tweeted the shit out. You've never said any of this. And for them to come at it like, no, if that's the case, people who follow you, fam, wouldn't be overreacting to be like, you've never said this shit before in your life. None of us knew that there was like Kane's Collective or Kane's Connection, whatever it is on Twitter. They have like 200 or something followers. I didn't know they were legit. You know what I'm saying? Like if these are the NIL guys, I didn't know that was real. If I'm keeping it all the way a buck, I'm like, oh, this is just somebody who created a Twitter page, calling it that and putting out athletes. That's cool, but you know what I'm saying. But like, I don't know. No, nobody really follows them that we know. So like, people were like, oh, you didn't know, and then I was just like, fam, like if we knew that as a fan base, we would know. We wouldn't be so worried about, you know what I'm saying, pocket watching in a way Ruiz's stock or all this shit becoming reported that's making certain people nervous and all this shit. Like, oh, there's other people. Okay, it's a foundation, not a post. Cool. You know what I mean?
This is the thing that bothers me regarding social media sometimes. Like, it's like people lose common sense or the ability to be logical. Like, we think at the University of Miami that John Ruiz is the only supporter. Like, you know how many billionaires come from the University of Miami, son? Like, you think he's the only one? Like, come on, man. Like, people have to have common sense and be logical, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, yeah.
All right, man. Let's bring in the third member of the U Herd, man. What's going on, CB?
What's up?
What's going on,
fellas?
How you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing all right. How y'all doing today?
Chilling, man.
Good, man. Good. Hey, man. We talking some TVD and like the reaction of all of that on Friday and the roller coaster whirlwind.
Overreaction.
Yeah. What was it like? I know we were talking. You know what I'm saying, we were in the group chat. You know what I'm saying, we good over here.
The group chat alone was crazy.
Yeah. Shout out to Lizzie. Shout out to Lizzie number 2. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Scar
We're doing that on air now. All right.
She not in. Nah, we ain't even talking about that. We're not talking about that.
We're not talking about
Scarlet Witch.
That. You know what I'm saying?
Scarlet Witch is number 1.
What were your thoughts on Friday? Fam?
First off, Thursday night was crazy. Because when the rumor kind of started to gain some legs, Twitter can get very negative, man. Like, Twitter got crazy negative, and then it just felt like there were a few camps. There was the he ain't going nowhere camp. Then there was we got those trolls and those weirdos that were, saying what they were saying. I'm not going to repeat some of that stuff, but it seemed like pure chaos, man. Like, it really just felt like chaos because we all know this team will go as far as TVD takes us this year, man. Like, he's QB1, which I put a post up, say QB1. I got some questionable responses to that tweet. And I'm thinking, like, if you look at this team, do you not think he's QB1? Like, he will go as far as he takes us this year. Yeah, we're excited about Emory. We know Ja'Cory's raw. We know what Ja'Cory can do. But in 2023, the Miami Hurricanes will go as far as TVD can take them. So for me, it was a little bit of panic. It was, we got 2 other scholarship quarterbacks on the roster. It was a really weird 24 hours, man. It was nerve-wracking because you want to try to calm the fan base down a little bit to everybody, like, relax, it'll be what it's going to be. Just kind of sit back. But you can't do that because you start telling them that, and they're
Nobody doing that on Twitter, man.
It's at some point we had the information we had, right? We knew what we knew. We just got to kind of sit back and let it play itself out. At that point, there's nothing we gonna say in 120 characters that's gonna change that man's mind. So let's sit back. Yep. Let the program do what the program was going to do. Clearly, they needed to talk to him a little bit, and the situation worked itself out pretty quickly.
Yeah, facts. Listen, I'm a firm believer in it ain't over till it's over. I don't react until I know it's over or something moves. You know what I mean? Like, words and reports and rumors, right, son? All that shenanigans, you know what I mean?
You can't substantiate You can't substantiate none of that stuff. Like there was no way, even when people are asking, like, what do you want us to? There's no way for us to substantiate the rumor. It's a rumor at that point.
Yep.
Now it starts, and there's something to be said with some of these guys in the media have an obligation to not just want to be first, but to be accurate. Like,
and that's the problem.
That's the problem. Is everybody wants to be first.
I want to be first,
but you do have to understand the way Twitter works, the way social media works. It's a lynch mob first, no matter what happens. One of our players enters the portal. The first wave you get is negativity. You get the pitchforks.
Yep.
Then you get people realizing, hey, man, maybe he was going because he got one more year. It's closer to so-and-so. It's this OC.
Rationality.
Man, go be great, bro. Yes. It gets rational, but it don't start that way. So if you're a reporter, watch your watch the titles of your articles, the subject of your videos when you're putting them out. You have to understand that some of these words are buzzwords. They're triggering.
That's why it's done. That's why they do
it. Yeah. But then you walk it back. But then those same people will walk it back and say, well, I'm just reporting. You're not just reporting.
They want
there is an obligation you have to show a little bit of honor. You know what I'm saying? A little bit of dignity, a little bit
went to school for it. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and at the end of the day, for some of these people on Twitter, I need to remind y'all that y'all are Canes fans. Like, it's in your bio. It's on your profile picture. As long as that kid has a U on, he is a Cane. Treat him as such. Now, if he enters the portal and he leaves, wish him well, and let's get on with what we do. But the reaction was a little bit worrying.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
It was from the fan base. From the fan base, it was a little bit worrying. Obviously, if that were to happen, that would have been a whole nother can of worms. You know what I mean?
That would have been uglier.
It would have been.
It would have been. Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. I probably would not have been on Twitter if that would have happened.
It would have been.
No.
That'd have been.
I mean, with me and Joe were talking about, like, with this new portal, man. Like, it's just this is gonna happen.
Plenty of contingency plans, CB. Plenty of contingency plans, man. That'd have been.
Joe knows something right now. He don't want to say
it out loud. It would have been.
But he knows something.
It's the transfer portal, man.
That's true, man. And that's the other side of it is the transfer portal works both ways, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
One in, one out, baby. It's like the club back in the day. You remember when you think Mario? Man, it was Mario.
It's one, you gotta swap them.
Yeah.
So if Bama can allegedly call a quarterback that's not in the portal and convince him, who's to say the loafers
not doing it? Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, let's keep.
I made the joke in the portal. I made the joke in the group chat. You know what I'm saying? What you doing, Rashada? What you doing?
Hey man, listen. Let's keep it all the way a buck here. Because Alabama's doing it doesn't mean everybody can do it. I don't know.
That's true.
But players initiate those calls too.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Before they
it ain't nothing for one of them to go to shoot a text to go, hey, my quarterback out. Ain't you sitting behind somebody this year?
Facts, you know what I mean?
Like, ain't you behind old boy for two more? You got two more behind him, right?
Yeah.
Hey,
and if they're smart, which most of them are, they hitting people before they get in. Like, yo, I'm thinking about getting in.
What it look like over there?
You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, definitely.
Prime example. This kid, the defensive tackle, the kid Bear. We kind of know where he's going, right? Like,
sure.
No.
How?
Because we you see
the feelers. The feelers have to be put out. You know what I mean? And if you are an NIL kid, if you do have an agent, if you do have somebody representing you, are they doing? They're doing a disservice if they don't. Hey, now what if my man's was in the portal? Like, I'm not saying he is, but what if my man's was? Y'all got a spot over there for him?
As long as the kid, Yeah, as long as the kid's not the one saying it, this is what's gonna happen. You have any representation, anybody can reach out to anybody. That's so
and they're
we just
gonna
gotta be
do
prepared
it.
for. Yeah.
And your representation could be a parent, your brother, a coach. That could be not your college coach, but a coach.
But to Joe's point too, it don't even got to be representation. It could be as simple as, hey, I played with that dude in high school. We took a visit to so-and-so together. Buddy went, I went somewhere else. Hey, they still feeling me?
Yep.
You know what I mean? They what's the roster looking like? Because I heard y'all had one running back jump in the portal. I mean, I'm third over here. I'm sitting behind a couple sophomores. What it look like over there? It's not that's you know what I mean? I'm sure it happens that way too. I'm sure because you want to put a feeler out. The last thing you want to do is jump in the portal and that thing don't ring at all.
Yeah,
because you didn't do your homework. You know what I mean?
Got 1,000 kids just sitting there.
Yeah, and everybody don't got a spot for everybody.
Nope.
Everybody can't eat. So
and nobody want to go. Nobody want to go group of 5. You know what I mean?
You want to upgrade. So you want to put. There has to be feelers being put out there. So you know there is something to. All right, Mario probably had a contingency plan or something. You don't tell me the boy didn't have something.
There's too many smart people in that building to not have a plan, man. There's too many. Like me and Joe were talking. There's too many people in that building to not be like. You got to be ready. Every kid on your roster can leave. There's nothing stopping them anymore. So 100%. At any point,
you don't even got to be upset.
They could be 30. Yeah, they don't even got to be mad. Like, hey man, you know what? I just want to go back home. The Daryl, you know what I'm saying? Daryl Jackson. Hey man, you know what? This isn't anywhere for me. Move. You know what I'm saying? Like this walk off the field. Gus Edwards. You know what I mean? Like it could be anybody. So I think what happened was because look, we and Joe were talking about it, right? Like how many kids have left how many young men? My bad. Shout out to Wholesome. How many young men have left in the portal? In the previous portal, how many are not as many are going into it now? I think we've had one Jabari Ishmael. You know what I'm saying? Go into the portal this time. We've had 30 kids, 30 young men leave, and none of us were worried. None of us were like, oh man, don't, and none of us freaked out. It was TVD was the reason because we need him. Like we need TVD. Like you hurt because he mattered, fam. Like you can't
be mad he's entering the portal and say we didn't need him anyway. Those two things don't make sense.
Don't make sense. Because if you didn't need him, you ain't mad. You know what I'm saying? So it's just the reaction. And what I told Joe at the beginning of this, I was like, if we had this pod on Friday, it's a very different conversation.
It would have been a really different conversation.
Yeah, like the emotions would have been higher. The reaction is different. This is why, like, I don't like, and me and Joe talk about it, like, we don't like doing emergency pods in that way because that one is just like a snapshot moment. Now you've had time to sit with it. Like, I told Joe, I was like, I didn't like the reporters being like, oh, you didn't know we had more than one NIL guy? Like, when they've never mentioned it before. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, and I told Joe, like, Kane's Collective or Kane's Connection on Twitter, I was like, son, I don't even know. Like, I don't know them. Like, they got 200 followers, but they're giving people money. Like, I'd like to know more about them, and I've reached out to them and figure out not how the collective works, but just like that whole thing. Like, who? Like, I don't need to know who they, but like, how does NIL
who
work?
Who runs it? What is it? Yeah, I think right now we are still so in the dark with how NIL really works, not how they tell us name, image, and likeness a player can be paid. Okay, we know that. How does this really work? Who runs these collectives? Is there a difference? I know there's a difference between boosters and a collective. Are they regulated different? Do you have to be representing a product because a collective doesn't have a product for you to advertise?
Correct. Which is in its existence is already illegal. Because they're just
you know what I mean? Yeah, in that sense, you're a booster. It's a bunch of boosters. Now you can call it whatever you want, but if you walk a pig into somebody's house and it oinks, it smells like a pig, and you call it a cat, it don't make it a cat. You know what I mean? A collective is a booster. There's no product that you're advertising. There's no commercial you're doing. There's no ad. So I think we still need to know exactly how this works. Can a player that has an NIL deal transfer? How does that work for his NIL deal?
Mm-hmm.
TVD has NIL deals here. If he does transfer, what happens? Is he liable? Are we going to see lawsuits in the future? Because I gave this kid this NIL deal. He was supposed to be here for 3 years.
The signing bonus, yep.
Mm-hmm. The OC leaves. He leaves with him. And now you're served papers. How is this going to work?
Yeah. Well, we have to figure that out. We'll find out at some point. We'll ask somebody. If anybody watching the show and wants to come on and talk NIL, explain it to us, please.
Yeah,
hit us in the.
That's something that we would love clarity on. Just the ins and outs of it. And we're not asking no one to come on here and tell us how much individual players make, but break down the structure. No pocket watching. We're not asking anyone to come on here and bash anyone who does get NIL. Just the structure of it and how it works is something that I think the entire fan base could use clarity on.
You know what's crazy, and I was telling Joe, like, I think it just changed even because CBU out in Texas, Joe's in Carolina, I'm down here in Florida, and for each of our states, NIL is different.
It's different, yeah.
Like every state, like I'm saying the governor here just signed the thing where like now the schools can communicate more and more clearly about NIL and all those things. I think Arkansas was a state that the school itself can pay the player, like, and coordinate the payments between the player and the NIL situation. So there's no federal. NCAA has just been like, I don't know what y'all talk about. I don't know NIL. Oh, I don't know any NIL.
Yeah,
unless it's mine. Unless
they
it's
just
Miami,
get it. They just opened they just opened Pandora's box and went. It took off.
Yeah, and then bounced. So
unless it's John Ruiz. Now, if it's John Ruiz,
they got questions. It's always ridiculous how it's 40 years of the same.
No, I thought when NIL would get either broken or we would learn more about it is when we saw a 17-year-old kid decommit because of a NIL offer that did not get that they couldn't follow through with. I thought, okay, that's when they'll make an example out of somebody. This is when we'll see them try to police NIL a little bit. And they did nothing. They did absolutely nothing. So that's why I there's aspects of it I would love to have fleshed out. I need to understand how is that able to happen and there's no consequence. But you can have a steak dinner.
Yeah, initially my thought was name, image, likeness. You can go out to a store. You can go out to Dick's Sporting Goods or a sporting goods store, sit there and sign autographs all day, get paid.
Yes.
You can have your name in the new NCAA 24 game, get paid. You can, your jerseys, have your name on them, get paid. That's how I thought it was. You know what I mean? You can do commercials, whatever, get paid. You know what I mean? That's how I thought it was. I didn't think the school would have anything to do with it.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Me too.
Now it just seems like, and the NCAA, let's keep it a buck. The NCAA hasn't regulated anything. The NCAA is here just as a body. You know what I mean? They're not regulating anything. So
I think it's not regulating it, not putting enough guidelines at the beginning will make it hard to regulate now.
I mean, you got to do
the milk has been spilled, bros.
Gotta be something.
Like, to me, there needs to be checks. If you transfer, maybe you're not eligible for NIL money that first year. You have to stop it.
Like, I don't know how you do though. Like, because it's already
what's stopping the biggest booster at Texas going to the number one quarterback in the nation next year and saying, I got $20 million for you?
Nothing.
That's
what they're doing.
That's what the
argument is they did it before that.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I understand that as well. I do understand that argument as well, where, okay, so we were doing this anyway.
Yeah.
But to make it the Wild West on paper doesn't make any sense to me. It needs to be regulated a little bit better. Kids do need to be compensated. They do need to get paid. If their faces are being used, if their images are being used, they do need to be compensated. You should not be hungry in college and I'm buying your jersey. That does not make any sense to me.
Never.
But it also does not need to turn into free agency.
All right.
But that's what it is.
Let's all right. So listen, one more thing about the transfer portal. I saw a graphic today that compared our last head coach's transfer portal additions with our current head coach's transfer.
I didn't see that
portal additions, and it didn't look good currently for our transfer. Of course, we're comparing 3 years to 1 year of work.
Right.
You know what I mean? That already kind of because Hold on. Explain this graphic to me. Like, are you saying like all right, so Jalen Phillips
hits? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Who was elite, who was bust, who was decent. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So you have, let's go through. You had Jalen Phillips.
Right.
You had De'Aaron King. You had Charleston Rambo.
Mm-hmm.
You had Quincy Roche. Right.
Yep. Same year. Yeah. Same year as Jalen Phillips. Yeah.
The Rambo and the Rambo, Phillips and King. That's hard to.
Yeah.
You had. Who else did you? There was other.
Can I make a kind of argument real quick to the Eric King thing?
Mm-hmm.
But that shows the lack of development and lack of recruiting in quarterbacks, that you had to go get a transfer portal guy from the G5. You know what I'm saying? To be able to.
We're just talking about the move.
Okay.
We're talking about who we brought in.
All right.
We're talking about who we brought in because we're right now we're supposed to be talking about how great of talent evaluators are in the building. You know what I mean? So I have an eye for talent now. You know what I mean?
Got you.
So we brought in those guys. Here we bought now we bought in Mesidor, right?
Yeah.
Mesidor's Agude, Liechtenstein, Sagopolo, Paris.
Cohen.
Yeah.
Paris.
Cohen. We don't know about them guys yet.
We don't.
Though.
Oh, so we're not counting. We're not counting this year's transfer.
Can't because we don't know.
Yeah, because we don't know.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Okay, got you. Okay, all right.
Damn. There were some good ones this year.
It's very
hard.
Very slim.
Damn.
It's very. How old are you again? 50. Damn. All right. I say it like that. Yeah, you did, Kevin. I'm gonna tell you how you said it. Damn. No, I said damn. No, I said damn.
Yeah. So damn. I mean, let me see.
Yes, it's slim.
That is an interesting discussion, actually, because but you can argue that some of those successes were successes for different reasons. Like Rambo, we knew Rambo was a beast. Like we knew De'Aaron King was a good quarterback. He just needed to show it on a bigger level for NFL scouts, or wanted to show it on a bigger level. It's kind of like Sam Hartman. You know, I would think that's a different. I'm trying to make this look good in my head.
Yeah,
it's no reason to make it look good. We're just like, what do we think about that?
Look.
Like, do we think
there is a different?
The transfers in this new regime have had enough time to prove themselves. You know what I mean? Like Rambo was only here 1 year, so obviously, you know, but.
Last year is
a hit. You know what I mean?
Mesidor is definitely a
hit.
Jalen Phillips is tricky though, because Jalen Phillips was tricky though because he came here a year. Remember, because I was back before when you couldn't transfer and play right away. So
it was before the portal, right?
Yeah, it was before the portal. Like you could transfer, but you had to do that year hit from UCLA. Had a ton of injuries.
You
never.
De'Aaron King did too, then, right? That wasn't a portal.
No, De'Aaron King came portal. De'Aaron King came portal.
He did.
De'Aaron King was portal. Yeah. Jalen Phillips,
just identifying Jalen Phillips and bringing him in.
Facts.
Yes. So is the question, have we identified the same high level of talent, or is the talent working once they get here?
Are the transfers that were brought in, were they rushed transfers? Were they roster fillers? You know what I mean?
Yes.
That is a good question, actually. And I think I try not to be too negative about a couple roster spots, but yes.
No. It's hey, CB. I know you're Mr. Positive. Got nothing but love for you, my brother. But yes, son. Yes. Yes.
There's a couple. Yes.
Who was bought in to actually contribute significantly?
Mesidor.
Was Agude not? Was Agude not?
Agude, if you remember, Agude was not a spring. Was he? Was y'all tell me if you remember? Was Mesidor a spring portal or a fall portal guy? Like, did Mesidor have spring last year? I think so, right? Like he wasn't just a fall guy. Y'all let me know. I honestly don't remember. Because last year there was so many guys leaving, so many guys coming in.
Last year was kind of crazy.
Yeah. So if I'm basing this off the if y'all one of y'all want to look it up what I'm talking about. If Mesidor was a spring guy, you would keep him. But Agude was a fall guy, right? Like I think. I'm not debating that the previous administration had their hits, right? But because the other side of that is they missed so much on.
No, but it ain't about that, son.
No, they hit.
It's about
but it's who
hit in the portal and who didn't.
We got to do. It's about
who hit in the portal and who, because the transfer portal. The transfer portal is hit or miss. That's it. You either hit or you miss, son, in the transfer portal. You taking swings, you hoping you getting elite talent if you're depending on what you're looking for, right? If you're trying to get roster fillers or you're trying to get depth, you can get depth in the transfer portal. But for the most part, Bear Alexander, Jeffrey and Pimba. I don't know how to say his name. I hope.
Okay.
So, yeah, you know.
It looks like he committed April 20th, 2022.
So he's a fall guy.
So Caleb Johnson from UCLA, he was brought in to start at middle. No,
never played. Yeah, barely ever played. Yeah,
he was brought in. He was looked at as significant, as somebody who's going to get significant minutes.
Yep. Hey, I'm not debating. This is not a debate. It's not a debate in the sense that last year was almost, besides Hakeem Mesidor, can't really think of one guy that stood out, right? Like if we can y'all let me know. It was a 5-7 season, so nobody stood.
No,
I don't all the way a buck.
Yeah, but
you know what I mean. Like,
but there is something to when you list those names, the early success Miami did have with transfers versus
the later success.
Yes, there is something to that. When you start rattling off some of the names, but there is also the schemes from last year did not.
Nah, we ain't. There's no.
We're not context. We can't.
Okay, so no context.
That's what he's saying. 1 for 1. No, 1 for 1. I
mean, so what I could say is that.
Wait, hold on. I got one question. I got one question. My bad. This is the number. This is again me asking for context, though, and as I realize as I'm asking this, how many transfers did the previous guy take to consider the percentage of hit? You get what I'm saying? Like we know Jalen Phillips,
the hit
Quincy
rate.
Roche.
You're talking about a hit rate percent.
Yeah.
So you're talking about if I took 50 and only 5 hit. Then,
yes.
Okay, so
but if those hit really hard, I give you that, right? But those hits didn't equate to an ACC championship. They equated to good performances individually.
I'm gonna pull up,
but none of that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I would like to know. I'm not debating Jalen Phillips. I'm not debating Quincy Roche. I was like, holy shit, we got defensive ends for the first time in a time I can remember. But we also had, you know what I mean? Like that's the thing I would like to know is like how many transfers they had to bring in, because if we got to kick out 50 of those young Canes to go somewhere else from last year to this year, you know what I'm saying? Like if your hits are transfer guys, are you hitting?
So I'm trying to pull up our portal right now.
Yeah.
So this would be our 2022 portal. Okay.
I mean, I could say
it starts with the guys leaving.
Yeah.
So there's the linebacker Mitchell.
Agude.
I'm gonna butcher his last name. Agude. I'm gonna Jonathan Davis coming from Oregon. Daryl Jackson, Caleb Johnson.
This is Daryl Jackson.
All right, so hold on. You said Agude. All right, so are we saying bust, decent, or elite? Those were the 3 categories that I saw. So Agude, we'll say decent.
Bust.
Okay.
Bust.
Who's next?
Yeah, let's do.
Next was Jonathan Dennis.
Bust.
Yeah. Bust.
Yeah, unanimous. You know, we gotta. Yeah, I feel like we're all gonna
Daryl
be
Jackson
because
Daryl Jackson hit.
Yeah, hit for sure.
Caleb Johnson.
Caleb Johnson. Bust.
If you can't look, no disrespect. See,
right. This is just what you did here.
No, I'm saying for a guy that's
Caleb Johnson about to go to the league, probably. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows? Always gonna test out. But yeah, bust.
Who else?
Akeem Mesidor.
Hit.
That's
elite. Hit.
Elite. Yes.
Super.
Not only was he a super hit, he got us Isaiah Thomas in this cycle because Isaiah Thomas also goes to Clearwater Academy in Florida.
Yeah.
And he's Canadian, right? Isn't Akeem Mesidor Canadian?
Yep, and they're both Canadian.
Yeah.
Then we've got Daryl Porter Jr.
Verdict still out?
The verdict, I would say, is still out on him.
Yeah,
I'd say the verdict is still out on him.
Yep.
Let's see. So this has our outgoing Logan Sagapolo, interior offensive lineman.
I feel like this is gonna be a really negative section of the show here. Like,
you
know what that is.
I mean, painful section of the
pod. We're just talking here.
Antonio Moultrie.
Well, is he bust?
Moving.
He's an edge rusher.
Next.
Yeah.
Frank Ladson, who I thought Ladson would work out here.
Bust.
Yeah. He's a bust. Buster Rhymes.
Bye. Yeah, Buster.
Henry Parrish, give me the big dog. Come on now.
Yeah.
Hit there.
Yep, elite.
Hit elite. Yeah.
I need a win.
Starting running back. Yeah. I needed CB, we're all on the same team. We all needed that win.
We all needed that win right there, bro. Yeah, I'm scrolling. I was like, where is Parrish? Jacob Lichtenstein.
Still out to me because he didn't play like that last year. And I think he'll get more burn this year. So I think the verdict is still out on him.
The verdict is definitely still out.
Now,
all right, that's question. It. As far as coming in, let's see.
As far as coming in, okay. So and for me, it's too early to find. Like if we're just going off the names, I think the people bought in were needed to be brought in for depth and roster filling. You know what I mean? I just think that's what had to happen.
2021.
Okay.
This is in.
This is in for 2021.
So this is previous administration, right?
Yes.
Or is it? This is not.
Yes.
Has to be
okay.
right?
Okay.
21.
Right,
Yes.
right.
Yes.
Yeah, because this is the year
Yeah.
that Perry transferred out. And good old Tate Martell. Justice Oluwosun.
Bust. And he was an in, right? He transferred in.
Yeah, he transferred in. Right. He transferred from UNLV into Miami.
I remember.
Tyreek Stevenson hit.
Good hit.
So this is going to be. This is going to
hit. It's a hit. It's a hit.
It's a hit.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
It's a hit.
Okay. All right. Just checking.
I mean,
feel like I wanted to double check that one because I do remember he did play hurt. I guess. Okay. All right. We'll go ahead.
It's a hit.
Okay.
I was shut down when I said scheme.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Let's keep going. Charleston Rambo.
Because not hit. I mean, yeah.
Rambo's a hit.
Yeah.
DeAndre Johnson, edge rusher.
Don't even know who that.
I don't even know who that is. So.
He came from Tennessee.
Never heard that name. Never heard that name.
Oh, I remember him. Okay, yeah, nah.
Oh, he was nah. Don't even. First reaction. Don't even know who that is.
Okay.
Don't even.
Isaiah Walker Jr., cornerback.
No idea who that.
Cornerback from Florida.
Nah, he's an old lineman.
No, you think?
Oh yeah,
else.
OT. Nope. Sorry, it does. OT above him is a corner.
Okay.
Yeah, he had some issues, man. Yeah. So, but unfortunately, it didn't work out. But he was really talented, though. But
it's a very short list for 2021.
Okay.
It's a very short list.
That's what I'm saying. There's a 3-year.
Yeah,
there is now. 1 year, so that doesn't.
Now this year is.
What about 2020? You got 2020?
It doesn't go back to 2020. Let me see if I can Google.
Okay. So is that it for 2021?
Yeah, for 2021, there wasn't a lot that came in. They got bang for their buck though. With you got Rambo, you got Mezzador.
The percentage that you were referring to.
Yeah, the bang for their buck in 21 was great.
Basically,
I would definitely say so. The 2020 made. Whew.
So for 2022, we at like a 10%.
I'm looking at it right. Okay, 2022. Let's see what we got.
Nah, 2022 we looked at already.
Nah, 2020. Let's see.
Yeah.
2020 Miami transfer portal. Let's see what we got. All right. So first oh no, that's transferring out. De'Aaron King transferred in from U of H.
I mean, yeah.
I would say hit.
Jared Williams, offensive tackle, transferred in with him from U of H.
Nah.
Never heard the name.
Never heard the name.
Yeah, I know who that is, but no.
We got Quincy Roche transferred in.
Hit.
Yep. Hit for sure.
And that is it that transferred in. There was a couple guys that transferred out. That's it.
So 2 of 3.
See, so it looks like it looks like they used to get. It looks like the philosophy was more bang for your buck. Then not bringing in 10, bringing in 3 that will play. Whereas you look at 2023
20
and
25. It's a lot of numbers. It's a lot of numbers.
It's a lot.
Yeah,
it's a lot. You got Terry Roberts coming in. You've got the outgoing is
it's crazy.
And that's another thing. That's another thing too.
That's another thing. The outgoing from this year is pretty serious. You got Cam McCormick coming in. You got Kiko Malangoa coming in. Matt Lee, Thomas Gore, Javion Cohen.
We don't know about any of these.
Branson Dean, Devontae Brown. So this year's class, Michael Donovan, long snapper, transferred in. Hit.
Yeah. Can't mess up.
I feel like he a beast. I mean, you got one. He a beast. He gotta be.
Yeah, that's all you need. You only need one. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Unless you start throwing it over the player's head. No, look, there's been no doubt that his evaluation in that aspect. I'm not that guy that was like everything Manny did was wrong. Like hell of a defensive coordinator. Just to me, not a head coach,
not a head
right?
coach.
Like
it's just not. That's my
personal.
We know that.
That's my personal. That's why you see And you got to remember, like, that offense was, you know what I'm saying, De'Aaron King's offense already. It wasn't like he's changing the offenses again. So, like, that hit is easier. That's the context side of it. But, yeah, like, the overturning of the roster, it's a lot of numbers. Not necessarily guys that are going to be game changers, which is when you get all these guys, you expect game changers. Like, if you get Emba, but he doesn't see the field because you know what I'm saying, our guy Ahmad Norton is dominating and so is Ruben Bain, are we going to count him as a miss? But we still needed the numbers because we have numbers going. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to be tough to predict because I think 21 was the first year of the, like, 21 was the first year of, like, this iteration of a transfer portal. I think 2020 and then 2019 you had to sit out the year and that whole thing. So, yeah, man, it hasn't looked good. It hasn't looked good. But the overturning of a roster,
I would say the overall picture looks better if some of the guys perform this year. If you get 2 or 3 of them this year, the 2 offensive linemen, if you get, 2 corners, a corner from last year that transferred in, stepping up, I think that makes the overall picture look a bit better because there are greater numbers this year. So if you hit on 4 or 5 this year, then it may look like, oh man, Miami's done pretty well in the portal over the past couple years. Now, when you start digging in like we just did, you go, oh, okay. But you know how it is. It's what have you done for me lately? So our initial reaction, you can see it on all 3 of our faces. We're thinking of last year. So we're going, I don't want to talk about this.
5-7.
Yeah. But next year, DP2 has 2 picks. Devontae Brown makes, second team all ACC. Matt Lee does well and Cohen does well. Then it's a little bit of a different tune long term. But there is something to those guys got to pan out just as big as your recruits do. That's talent evaluation too. The guys you bring in from the portal have to pan out too.
Yep.
Yeah.
But there is some roster filler. There's
a whole lot of roster filler. Let's keep it all the way a buck. There's guys that are never going to see the league, and hopefully they graduate and do great things with the University of Miami degree. Shout out to Cam McCormick getting his second master's or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy.
Doctorate.
I mean, there's been a new rule change.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
There's been a rule change in the NCAA.
There's a few issues.
Yeah, so what a reaction. Hey, man, what y'all think about the new rule change? I think so. According to, it's just basically no consecutive timeouts, no untimed down in the first and third quarter. It's just basically NFL, right? It's just the clock keeps running unless it's on the 2 minutes. So this is you're not stopping the clock after each first down. What y'all think about that?
Less football is never a good thing. I want less commercials and more football.
Fam, I don't want the college game to resemble the NFL in any aspect, son. I do not want that. No, I don't want the rules. No, I don't want NFL football. That's why that's secondary to probably most people now. The rules in NFL football, I don't want college.
That stops that college football spirit of if you're down,
you can come back.
Yes,
yeah, man.
We've all watched those bowl games that nobody cares about, but somebody's got the ball with 2 minutes left. And everybody there is something to having the clock stop on first downs. And college football games don't feel crazy long, so I don't really understand what was the need. It just felt like let's do something. Yeah. They just did something like
Let's not pay attention to NIL. Let's talk about something else.
Let's keep the clock rolling because that's what we want. NCAA the football game. That's what we want. Yeah. If we're really going to talk about it, that's what we want. We want the game back.
Son.
We don't want new rules. I don't.
This is one of the things that went under the radar. You can't do back-to-back timeouts.
You can't do back-to-back timeouts now.
You cannot ice the kicker anymore.
What is the deal with wanting to speed up the game? Or I don't understand that.
I don't know. I don't understand the icing the kicker. I mean, that's just scheme.
That's
and,
a part of the game.
And that's a part of the game. Like if the kicker can't kick, get a new kicker. What we talking about?
He wasn't gonna make it before the timeout either, fam.
See, that's the thing. That's the thing nobody talks about is bro was shanking this thing regardless.
He was shaky regardless.
This just made him think about it a little bit more.
Calmed them down, son. You know what I mean?
We're just building dramatic effect. He's pulling this thing wide left regardless.
100%.
All right,
this is the other crazy.
Let's move on. We running.
No, I got one. There's one.
That rule is trash.
That rule is trash.
Check. Finally, there will be no. Yeah, there's one more. Finally, there will be no untimed downs at the end of the first and third quarters if a penalty occurs. If a penalty occurs on the final play of the frame, instead of the penalty, you know how you usually have that like play at the end of the first and third. Now it'll be enforced on the first play of the following quarter. So it won't be like a free play.
That's for advertisers or something.
It doesn't matter.
That's another commercial break or something for advert. Because what it does is it guarantees that commercial break. You're not going to stop it and then have one more play. That's so that they can get that commercial break in between quarters. This is about money.
Yeah. It's always about money, man. All of this.
It's protecting that commercial break because they'll probably sell ads at the end of the quarters. And those are huge ads, obviously, because you're excited going into the fourth quarter. You're not getting up. So, yeah, that's why they're doing that. That has nothing to do with football. Yeah. That's nothing to do with football.
Nah, man. I mean, let's get into this Caneswear ad, and then we'll talk some unforgettable Canes.
Welcome to Caneswear. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has all latest merchandise for the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Inter Miami Soccer, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of I-595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
And man, you see it. You know what it is, man. It's Caneswear all day, every day. Shout out to family, man. You see it all. Hey, man, listen. This is the hat I can't wear. That's why it always stays on the shelf. just wanna. If I put that shit on, son, it would look real crazy.
It's gonna explode.
Like this I just sit on top like this, just hovering. Like it's on top of my hair. So we'll make that happen out here, man. Hey man, shout out to everybody at Caneswear, man. Let y'all know, man, they got a new store opening up in May or June. They'll let us know the dates here soon.
That's fine.
We might be coming. We might be doing some things again, kind of like last time, man. So we'll see what's popping with that. Hey man, look, make sure you guys shop at Caneswear. You know what it is, man. The keyword drops. You gotta leave it in the comments. Everybody had comments. Nobody had the keyword, so we ain't got no winner this week, man. Y'all gotta wait till Wednesday.
I want that free paper.
All right, I did this. I'm gonna do this one more time, and I need cut this. Canes fam. It is the best Canes merch store you can find. And if you listen to this podcast like you already do, all you have to do is comment the keyword in the comments, and you have the chance to win a free gift card every single episode. 2 episodes a week. You're commenting anyway.
Yeah.
Put the comment down there. And you get $10 off. You get a gift card, not 5%, not 1%. You get a $10 gift card. If you go on there, you can get certain Dime Life shirts right now for $10. You're just paying the shipping at this point. Please, we are begging you guys at this point to take the money.
Yeah, for real. It's crazy.
You're commenting anyway. You're already commenting.
What's the keyword? Did we have a keyword for this week?
What's today's keyword?
CB, what you got? You drop it. You let them know. What?
Today's keyword is
Lizzie.
Lizzie. Lizzie. In the comments, please, and thank you. If you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. Just put Lizzie down in the comments and win yourself a case. Yeah.
$10 worth, Lizzie. So.
$10, man. Look, you can get you one of these. You can get you that Caneswear shirt. Yeah, come on, Lizzie in the comments. Come on, blow it up.
Oh man, Lizzie. My guy said Lizzie
I was definitely thinking one of the new recruits. Like I was about to think of one of the new recruits.
Yeah. Lizzie out here, man.
Unforgettable Kane today.
Unforgettable Kane, man. You got this. We went, you know what I'm saying? We went offense last time. We went offense last time. We're going defense this time. Shout out to the fact that we don't do special teams. Like that's just not something we do.
Hey, we did show love to the long snapper today, though. We did.
Yeah, that was the first time and only time a long snapper's been mentioned on the podcast.
Long snapper.
Hey man, let them know who it is, Joe. What we got?
Hey man, you know
we like to unveil it.
Ooh,
you know we gonna go big today, man.
Let's go,
man. We gonna go big. My guy, Mr.
Your numero uno.
Marley. You see the number 2. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Number 2 hit different from Miami, man.
You see the number 2. Not a big guy in stature, but
no, 5'8".
He used to come up.
Boom.
He used to come up. That's
Look at the closing speed, though.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. I saw that 2 flying around, and I was look at him. He got cut and got
cut on the play. Still made the play.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Oh.
Son, he went. Yeah, he did a front flip.
He almost landed
not
on
a shot block.
He got up instantly.
Yeah.
Instantly landed on his feet.
Wild.
Man.
Wild, man.
I feel like when he hit people, it hurt. Like it legit hurt when he hits you.
Yeah. Look at that. 5'8", man. Not a big guy at all, man. Not a big guy.
Look at this.
Breaking up the wedge. Ooh.
Tore that wedge up.
All over the field, man. Sideline to sideline. Shout out to Dwayne Johnson, the old
the ride running through there, man.
He took a bad aim.
Running on high and all that, man.
Yeah.
Drop your pad level, 94.
Yeah, you got to drop that pad level, baby.
Never knew how to. Was never quite right. Never looked quite right running out there, did he? No disrespect to the Rock, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he made a better living for himself.
Yeah, he did.
He ran the ropes good though. He looked good when he ran the ropes.
Yeah, he did.
Look at Rohan, man. A missile.
Man.
In today's game, he'd be ridiculous.
Yeah, he gets
as a hybrid player.
He gets some penalties.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's gonna kick out a lot of
yeah.
But as a hybrid player like he is with his skill set in today's game and the spread, be able to go sideline to sideline like that. Oh,
yeah.
Oh, he'd be
incredible. And we couldn't get any stats, right?
No stats. They did not. I went to Sports Reference.
Hey.
I went to Sports Reference. I went to Miami Hurricanes website. Couldn't find nothing.
I'd be trying to find stats on old Canes when I do these daily Canes. If they old enough, you click their stuff, it'd be like picture. That's it. This is him.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's not even that. It's like this is a picture of the team he in there, and he went to school from this year to this year. That's it.
Yeah.
Son, there's no pictures of him at all, like anywhere.
It's really hard. Eddie Brown, nowhere. You know how hard it was to find a picture of Eddie Brown?
All I got is Jerome Brown.
It took me
Eddie Brown.
It took me forever to find a picture of him. Some of these, as a matter, even recent guys, Kenny Phillips, it was hard to find pictures of. I was like, how do we not have pictures of Kenny Phillips? Yeah.
My favorite part was on the last show. My favorite part on the last show was because Greg Cooper played in that time when it went from like standard to HD. I was like, holy, like this is wild. So this is crazy.
He's one of my favorites too.
That was my favorite. That's one of my favorite running backs. Number 2.
He reminded me of LaShawn McCoy before LaShawn McCoy. Yeah, like he was that open field crazy shifty before guys like Shady, and I don't know if y'all remember like Javad Best like kind of made that style popular, but
Hawaii, man. Remember I was there.
Yeah, man. Oh God.
Yeah, I lived there. I lived in Hawaii at that time. That's why I saw that Sean Taylor hit.
Yeah, I think it was like 2:00 in the morning one night. Me and Ben sitting there talking about Hawaii football at like 2 in the morning.
yeah, man. Son, Hawaii football was wild. June Jones time?
So
crazy, son.
June Jones was my guy, man. To this day, that's my guy.
All those guys in the club, man. All the whole receiver, the whole receiver crew, everybody, man. Didn't see Cole Brennan as much, but man, he rest in peace. We got one question from the Canes fan, man. You know what I'm saying? You know Pope Kane had to hit us, man. Because he said the you know what I'm saying? He said obviously we talking TVD, so he wants to know of the 2 freshmen coming in who could not enroll early, who will have the most significant impact and get the most burn. Joe, what you got? Who you thinking? So that would be Mark Fletcher, Robert Stafford, Chris Johnson, Damari Brown. You got the 2 linemen,
Joshua Horton,
Tommy Kinsler, Josh Horton. Problem. And the big Polynesian cat that I can't think. Frankie Tennant.
Oh, and Frankie and Popo. Popo's not there, right? Aguirre's not there now, is he?
No, he's not.
No, Popo's not there.
All right, so I'm gonna go Josh Horton, man. You know what I mean? He's a DT.
Yeah.
Position of need.
Yep.
I think he can come in right away and get some snaps on the D line. Hopefully he comes in. He's already big. Hopefully he comes in strong, in shape. I think he'll be in first summer. You know what I mean? So he got about
I think next month.
Months. Yeah.
I think they come in next month.
They'll be in next month, right? Yeah.
Summer's graduate high school.
So yeah, he got about 2-3 months to get busy, man. So yeah, I'm gonna say Josh Horton for me.
What you got, CB?
All right, I'm gonna go Robert Stafford for a little bit of a different reason, because I think Robert Stafford will make an impact on special teams quite a bit. He is dynamic as a returner, like explosive. And he used to play receiver, so he's used to, playing in space, having the ball in his hands. Yep. But if you watch some of his returns, it's smooth. He's one of those guys that's running fast, but it doesn't look fast because he's like gliding. He's got ridiculous ball skills. And we could use a little bit of the help in the secondary. So I think he'll probably play in dime packages, some nickel packages too. But as a punt returner and a kick returner, Robert Stafford is nasty. So I'm going to go with Robert Stafford. I'm excited. He actually said he wants to play both ways a little bit too. So I wonder if Mario lets him. He was a really good receiver in high school.
Yeah, Mario's is dedicated. I mean, you never know. You never know what the depth is, and you never know what the transfer portal brings. I'm going to go obvious as hell. Mark Fletcher.
I'll put him on a stretcher, Fletcher.
Yeah. We ran into him at the spring game.
He plays.
Shout out to Mark Fletcher.
The spring game, man. Saw him at the spring game.
Yeah.
He's got to look impressive in person, right? He's a grown man. Like that. That's
he's
a grown
taller
man.
than I thought. And is he 6'2"?
He's 6'2", 6'3". He was. They were like. I was looking at him in his eyes,
man.
Yeah, there was. He's 6'2". He's all of 6'2". Like not like they put it on like the stats in the bio 6'2". Like we saw him. He's 6'2". So, I think Mark Fletcher. He comes in next month with the. You know what I'm saying? He's been getting his notes for practice and what to work out on. So yeah, I put Mark Fletcher in there just because. Look, man, you got 2 scholarship running backs. You got 2 scholarship running backs coming in. That's a position of need. Is not you can't. Those days of running 700 carries with a running back are long gone. So you need different dynamic players. So yeah, Mark Fletcher's my guy. It's not the laziest way of analyzing it because it is Mark Fletcher. You know what I mean? Like, but the offensive.
But he will probably make an impact early.
Yeah. The offensive linemen, they need time. You know what I mean? Like but you never know. They could. Tommy Kinsler could come in and ball out that guard that pushes a Javion Cohen out to left. You just never know what kind of determination these young men are coming in with, man.
And Javion maybe trying left tackle might not be a. It might not be. It might not be a bad idea to kick Javion out a little bit, get him some reps at left tackle. I like Frankie Tenenlau, but I think he's a little raw power and explosiveness off the charts.
Yeah,
I'm a little curious as to why they're not playing him on the defensive line though, because of with the size that we need. And if you watch his tape, he played some defensive line.
D tackle.
Yes, he can eat up some space, and he's explosive. But Mario probably saw him at left tackle and went, "Oh yeah, oh yeah."
He's tall because
I think Chris Johnson is going to be the. I think Chris Johnson is going to be the sleeper, though. You know what I mean? I think there's a lot of ways you can use him. You know what I mean? And his speed.
Another guy kick returning and punt returning too, because we got to just get the ball in some of these guys' hands somehow.
Yeah. Chris Johnson, I mean, we got nothing else. CB, you got anything else?
Damari is another one that shout out. Someone's not here. Damari will probably get some early PT. He's long, just like his brother. He's got those long arms. He's physical, just like Devontae. Might even play some safety if we need the help out there.
Yeah,
I'd like to see if we're doing it. I'd like to see Jaden Harris get some real PT. I like what I saw from.
He looked really good in the star at the spring game, in the run game, in the pass game. He looked like he was on. Yeah, he was just on. I really liked what I saw. Another dude with that length, man. You get a defensive back with those kind of arms who's versatile like that.
Mm-hmm.
He don't mind hitting that boy. He gonna come up and hit you now.
Yep.
Hey man, as you can see, we can keep talking Canes. We can keep talking Canes all night.
Yeah,
man, but the pod is over. We out, man. We got nothing else for you. We'll be back Wednesday with a special guest, man. We out, man. It's that You Heard podcast, man. The Triumvirate Canes. Let's go.